Vamshi Gaddam ji. Yes.
Sir, I thank you for this opportunity, sir. So I want to first start off by saying, very unfortunately, this bill is named Shanthi bill, sir. It's cameras.
Camera. Without camera, no talking, sir.
Sir,
Yes.
this
Camera, sir, camera.
Sir, this bill has been named the Shanti bill, sir. मेरे हिसाब से ये बिल तो एक अशांति बिल होना चाहिए, sir, because the points that are raised in this bill are very dangerous to the safety of our country, sir. So I want to raise a very important point. This government is showing no accountability, no responsibility, no answers to any issue that is happening around the country, and they are ultimately facing no consequences. Why I am raising this, sir? You talk about the recent attacks on our country, be it the Delhi terror attacks. Nobody talks about this subject. We all saw Rahul Gandhi ji raise that after Operation Sindoor, what is the government going to do when there is a next attack that is going to happen on our country? Unfortunately, nobody talks about this. When we try to raise it, there's no time allocated to that. When we talk about unemployment issues, the government doesn't take any responsibility. They promised 2 crore jobs per year since the last 11 years. Nobody talks about that. You talk about Indigo crisis, there is no accountability on that. The government is encouraging private players. When Indigo makes 7,000 crores profit and Air India makes 10,000 crores losses the same years, the government doesn't talk. The rupee devaluates, the government doesn't talk. So why I'm raising all these important issues is, when this government introduces a bill like the atomic bill, removing the liability from the suppliers, who is going to be liable when an accident or an incident happens in the nuclear space, sir? So we have to understand the biggest disastrous change is the change to the civil liability law. If you are so confident that there are not going to be any accidents, there are not going to be any nuclear incidents, I've heard some of the members say that we are very safe, there's no incident going to happen, then why is this liability law being removed, is my question to the Honorable Minister through you, sir. So when we talk about France, Russia, China, South Korea, all of them are state-owned and government-owned, sir. Who will be responsible is the biggest question that comes when we talk about this bill. The government is passing this bill to put national security, national defense in the hands of private players, sir. I want to ask, what is it that the people have given mandate for? And are the people okay when we take such draconian decisions in putting such power in the hands of few private players, sir? So we all know, Honorable Member Manish Tiwari ji has rightly raised, when Adani has shown interest to enter the nuclear space, within a month, this bill is put up, sir. Is it a pure coincidence? Or are we repeatedly doing the same mistakes that were done in the last 10 years? Sir, we have to learn from history. We always keep looking at the mistakes that our predecessors have done, and we have to take forward-thinking actions. We have to take decisions which impact our children of the future for the better. But unfortunately, sir, this Shanti bill is all about risk. And it's not about if it will happen, sir. It is about when it will be happening. And when such an untoward incident happens, if everything is safe, if everything is diluted, the liabilities are diluted, the nuclear danger, the nuclear incident does not care about intention, sir. It does not care if it is a private player that is owning the nuclear plant or it's a government player that is owning the nuclear plant. Radiation does not behave like a gas tragedy or a water tragedy, sir. It does not leak or does not disappear. We have to think about the children of the future. Radiation is zameen mein bas jati hai, sir. India's previous governments, previous leaders would take responsibility if there was any untoward incident, if there was loss of life to the people of our country. We have heard about resignations of ministers taking responsibility in our earlier governments. But unfortunately, today, we simply divert the topic and we go on to the next one. Sir, I repeatedly want to raise that sending this bill to the private players and giving private players whole and sole responsibility would be dangerous for the people of this country. I feel this bill is against the interest of our country, the safety of our country, and the safety of the citizens of our country. Privatization of nuclear power has failed repeatedly globally, and I urge this government to rethink its decisions, to have some liability on the private players and the suppliers in order to ensure safety and the security of our country. Thank you, sir. Jai Hind.
माननीय सदस्य श्री अनुप धोत्रे जी.
Thank you, Speaker Sir, for allowing me to speak on this important bill. The Sustainable Harnessing and Advancement of Nuclear Energy for Transforming India Bill 2025, known as the Shakti Bill. Honorable Speaker Sir, it is our Prime Minister's target to achieve 100 gigawatt of nuclear power capacity by the year 2047. It has been observed in cities like Delhi, located near thermal power plant, experience nearly 30 to 40% of the total pollution due to emissions from coal-based thermal power plants. Additionally, coal transportation to thermal power station is predominantly carried out through Indian Railways, accounting nearly 49% of the total freight movement. This heavy reliance on coal freight occupies a substantial portion of Indian railway capacity, leading to constraints on passenger train services and the movement of other essential goods. Sir, nuclear power today is no longer merely a source of electricity. It is a strategic national asset. During 2024-25, India generated 56.68 billion units of nuclear electricity, thereby preventing an emission of 56.68 million tons of carbon dioxide in a single year, which was one of the lowest life cycle greenhouse gas emissions. Nuclear energy strongly supports India's commitment in achieving net zero emissions by 2070. Nuclear reactor produce hydrogen by using methods such as electrolysis and advanced thermochemical cycles or hybrid methods. Hydrogen is fuel of automobile industry with zero emissions. Sir, nuclear power also is cost effective and commercially viable. Some of the cheapest electricity in India today is generated by nuclear power plants. The Tarapur Atomic Power Station Unit 1 and 2 generate electricity at less than 1 rupee, which is highly competitive. Moreover, our nuclear power operator, NPCIL, is AAA rated company, consistently earns commercial profit, clearly dispelling the notion that nuclear power in India is not an economically viable option. However, the cost of establishing a nuclear power plant in India is approximately 20 crores per megawatt. Therefore, private sector participation is very essential. Sir, the bill replaces outdated legislation with a single, comprehensive and future-ready framework. It strengthens significantly our regulatory oversight, rationalizes civil liability provisions, enables responsible participation with fully safeguarding national interest. It establishes a strengthened Atomic Energy Regulatory Board, which clearly defines power for licensing, safety authorization, inspection, enforcement, emergency response, and public outreach, thereby ensuring transparency and enhancing public confidence. Sir, the BARC has developed TAG24, which stands for Trombe Akola Groundnut 24, a popular and high-yielding groundnut variety through mutation and recombination breeding at its Trombe facilities. This variety was developed by crossing mutant derived from Spanish improved